Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com. This is Texas Podcast Massacre.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me as always are my own Agnes and Billy, Lisa.
You are a gold-plated whore.
And Nate.
Ho, 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 shit.
Jesus. I was focused, and that didn't faze me, but Jesus, Lisa. That was hell of a quote.
Hey.
Hell of a quote.
Barb in this movie.
Yeah.
She was something else.
Quotable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Lois Lane was a wild college girl, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, first, Merry Christmas to everyone listening. We are, a few days away.
Yep.
So hopefully you have a great one that is not, filled with murderers in your attic.
If you happen to be a person in a sorority, highly recommend just going home.
Yeah, just
see your family.
There's not really a whole lot going on Christmas break.
They work. Some of them weren't going home.
Your family. See your family early as possible.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Lois Lane tried, and her mom was like, "No."
Once finals happen,
Screw
you
you.
just drive away.
Yeah, that's right.
Or go shack up with the townie. That's safer too. Either way.
Right.
With a tiny
Oh, man. Each week on Texas Podcast Massacre, we take a look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, who is usually someone that is not what we would call a horror fan. This week, we had some unsuspecting victims. I haven't seen them around. They've kind of been missing.
Yeah, supposed to be at 1 by the clock tower. I don't know.
Yeah, so
what's going on?
Don't know what happened. Haven't checked the attic. Maybe I'll do that after the show. But for now, I think it's just going to be us three reviewing this week's movie of the week, the classic 1974 film, Black Christmas.
So is this just when I get up, hang up the phone, and walk out the front door to save myself?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Save yourself.
Spoiler alert. Actually, I think we know what I would have done differently.
He's like, I'm out.
Peace.
Oh, man. All right, well, let's just jump right into it with our debate question of the week.
We will see how the Lord favors you.
No, you dare not blaspheme. He will punish you. The jaws of hell will devour you. All of you. No.
All right.
Can my Christmas present be a new drop?
It's gonna be just Billy. Like that's gonna be careful what you wish for.
We should just have
Billy.
Now, yeah, I think next year we just do nothing but inexplicable drops that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like they're not even remotely tied to whatever we're doing.
This movie, you could generate like 16 drops just from this movie.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Claude?
Individual ones.
Claude. Right. So, I'm so thrown off by the damn Claude.
So Black Christmas.
So yes. So this movie we're
That
reviewing
is a
Black
movie
Christmas,
that we watched, yes.
which is credited as really being one of the first, if not the first, slasher film. Certainly the one that heavily influenced Halloween, and from there, really every slasher film that has come since, whether they directly or indirectly. This movie, I feel like, was probably very shocking when it first came out, and even still watching it today is, still has some creepy factor into it.
Oh, yeah.
It's still, the creepiness doesn't seem cheesy in this, and we'll get into more details around that. But I think my debate question for today is, what is to you the most shocking slasher film you've seen? And Nate, we can kind of start with you if you want to kick it off.
Sure. I don't know if I don't think Black Christmas is the most shocking one, but Billy's voice is probably like the most shocking part of a slasher ever. Mm-hmm. His voice is like, every time I hear it, I just my shoulders start going up. Like I hate it. I hate it. But I like it because it's so good. It's so disturbing. The actor who did Billy's voice, to get some of these sounds, he actually stood upside down so that his larynx would get compressed, so he can make some of these crazy ass sounds and stuff like that. I mean, they were nuts.
That's crazy.
And so,
So
yeah,
he did a keg stand while he was recording? Is that what happened?
like a murdery keg stand.
Oh yeah, it's on college campus. Why wouldn't you?
Like an obscenely language laced keg stand.
Yep.
But that, I was watching this movie, and why I like this movie so much is that it is like legitimately 43 years later is like the voice is like one of the most disturbing things in like all of horror for me anyway. So I picked this movie.
Yeah. Well, Lisa, what about you?
See, yeah, I went back and we'll probably talk about it more in a minute, but it's not a recording, right? It's him the whole time doing the different voices. Like, it's not like he had stuff recorded from his childhood and he was playing that over the phone. He was doing.
Yeah,
the killer is. So this is live. This is a live. Yeah, there's no.
Yeah,
like,
we'll get into
delay.
it. There's no. Yeah, I think that's.
But I think that ups the shocking factor.
Yeah, he's a good improv guy.
Yeah, so I was trying to think. I've seen some slashers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I haven't seen many recently. I don't know what slashers we've actually reviewed this year.
We haven't done a whole. We've done a whole lot actually.
No, not
it. Maybe is
Halloween 3.
that's not even a. That's
I know.
Not even really a
Not really.
That's what I'm saying. Jason
I don't
X.
know if we've done one this year.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason X, I guess. That's definitely not.
That's
not.
No.
It's shocking that got made.
Yeah, pretty
that's
much.
About,
It's shocking they spent $13 million on it.
Ugh.
That's
What a
so
waste of
shocking.
money.
I remember the amount of money they spent. Terrible.
Yeah, so I don't remember most of them, and maybe that says something. So I think I'm going to go with Nate on this one. This one is pretty shocking.
Nice.
Especially after I read that it was based on some true murders.
In Canada, yeah.
Yeah. And just the fact that you don't get any I mean, you do and you don't, but you don't really get a resolution. You're kind of left open-ended, you know? So it's like, well, crap, he's still out there.
So you're saying New Year's resolution, 2018, more slashers.
I mean, there's some classic ones that we just haven't done, right? Like Halloween and Friday the 13th and stuff like that.
I don't know if Texas Chainsaw Massacre is really a slasher.
well, that's what I was going to ask, because it's
a little different.
But it you know, a slasher is someone with some sort of bladed instrument going through and chasing down people. It's not. It's different than a supernatural. It's different than cult. It's different than, you know, that's how Freddy Krueger is a slasher, even though it's all in dreams and it's a little, you know, out there versus just like the.
I guess the difference.
Halloween.
Yeah, I guess
Jason
the difference in
Voorhees
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is that normally the slasher, like in this movie, is like invading your space, like coming at you, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they kind of just like happen upon a murderer. It's kind of a weird.
Well, but they do that in Friday the 13th, but that's a slasher film. Except in Manhattan, where
it is their camp.
Space.
I mean, it is their camp.
Yeah.
It's not Jason's camp. He doesn't own the camp. All right.
Because if I was going to pick the most shocking movie for me, at least, is probably Paranormal Activity. It's not a slasher, but to me, that one sticks with me. I can't even watch the trailer without getting creeped out.
No.
But I think slashers, especially because it was 1974?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure it scared the hell out of a lot of people then.
Yeah.
For sure. What about you, Mitch?
Yeah, Mitch.
So I'm trying to think, and I'm trying to jog my memory of some of the many slasher films I've seen. Shocking.
There's a lot of like.
I mean, because shocking, I would say Texas Chainsaw Massacre because of just how.
What about Sleepaway Camp or something like that? You could go that direction.
Well, I mean,
you go
no
that
spoilers.
Direction.
I haven't seen either.
You go that direction. I mean, that's up there for me. Sleepaway Camp.
That has a great ending. It's but I mean, Scream is one that I think deserves all the credit in the world for just flipping every single trope on its head and making it, pointing out how kind of absurd the genre is. I mean, it's smart. It still was able to work in that same space, but it just felt, so much different. It kind of raised the game a little bit. Yeah. Because so many others of these, there's a million slasher films, and they're all effectively similar. Shocking wise, though, I mean, I don't know if I'd say it's shocking though. Shocking to me, I mean, you'd have to look at like Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, or something, where it's just like the utter gore is just holy. Like Rainn Wilson as the half fish man thing. It's just like, holy shit. You know?
Rainn
And
Wilson is in that movie?
yes, it is not good. And he gets turned into half a fish.
I'm thinking like, I mean, if you want
In
to
a
go
sort
like,
of weird island of Dr. Moreau, sort
Yeah.
of weird.
if you want to go real schlock, you can go like, have you seen Slumber Party Massacre?
I mean,
Like stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
just like early
Well, and-
80s.
and I
like
get- and I-
everyone was just
yeah.
like going nuts.
and I guess that's a question. So when, maybe this is another way to ask it real quick. So for shocking, when we talk about shocking films, are we? Does gore shock you more, or does it need to be? I mean, it sounds like Lisa. It sounds like more. It's the
It's
psychology,
the psychological.
right?
The gore, I mean, I don't like it, but it is what it is, and it's a conclusion to something, right? Super gory, the person's probably dead. But when they leave the
yeah,
open-endedness...
Billy's still calling you, man. Billy keeps calling.
I know, right? But when they leave the open-endedness, that's when it creeps me out, right? That's why Paranormal Activity gets me, because you never see what's actually terrorizing them. You know, that's why this one is much more shocking, because you never actually... They don't catch him. They don't...
Yeah.
He's still in the house. It's really creepy.
What if Paranormal Activity added some of Billy's sounds to it? Is that your ultimate movie?
It would be worse. I don't know. I don't know if it was...
Someone standing over a bed with someone sleeping and he's like,
it's Billy.
Oh my god,
that would be awesome.
no, you know what? I'm gonna change my answer. I think.
Okay.
Or settle on this answer.
Sure.
Psycho.
Psycho. Okay.
I will stick with Psycho. And I will say, because I didn't, even when I saw the film when I was much younger, I didn't know the truth, or I didn't really know the twist. So I got to, granted, I saw the Vince Vaughn versions before I watched the original.
Oh, mistakes.
But even then, I mean, when you find out what the kind of twist is, like, oh shit,
It's a good twist.
Was
How
that
many-
Anne Heche?
yes.
Yeah.
How many people...
What?
How many people does he kill in that movie?
No, not
Like
two.
yeah, one or two.
So what do we consider? I mean, so I guess we still consider that a slasher because he literally slashed
Yeah,
them?
it depends how you want to count it. The 1960 had Psycho and Peeping Tom, which is another classic. I highly recommend.
Again, I go with did he use a bladed weapon primarily?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Bladed
there's sort
fingers?
of a stalking element that's really kind of part of slashers. It's the bladed element's part of it,
Yeah.
but I mean, you can again, Jason is killed with literally everything. He's killed with a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
So I
It's more. So is it more of a serial killer?
Well, it's that stalking. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
that there's something constantly chasing you, and that's just mowing down people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess kind of that's why It Follows feels like a slasher, even though it isn't, because it always has that constant
Pursuit.
constantly that pursuit of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
there's always that tension of
Right.
it could pop out anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
that makes sense.
Alien in some sense could be thought of as a slasher. And then again, constant pursuit. It's something that being hunted down versus again, most of the the ones where there's an exorcism, there's a demon, there's a ghost. Those are very vampires aren't really chasing down, werewolves maybe, but it really it just depends how you view the genre. But anyway,
Yeah. Okay.
So it sounds like y'all are in agreement on this being so shocking.
I like this one a lot. I don't know if it's I don't know. Sometimes gore can get me if it's just over the if it's realistic. Now over the top. I mean, who cares?
So Hostel.
I hate Hostel. I hate Hostel a lot. But some gore can be pretty ridiculous.
I enjoyed
I
Hostel.
like the psychological
It's not
stuff.
great,
like Lisa
but,
said.
yeah.
I'm all in on that for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, I guess I have to
Black
concede
Christmas.
since I'm 2-1 here.
Unbeatable.
Oh my god.
Let's get into it.
All right. Sounds good. So this week's movie of the week is Black Christmas.
A high school girl's been murdered. Mr. Harrison's daughter is missing. And now at the house where she lives, the other girls are getting obscene phone calls.
Yeah, what I've done is I've tapped this phone so that when it rings, it'll ring at the station house, too.
There was a little girl murdered over in the park tonight. Yes, I heard. Your phone's ringing. Hello?
Hey, Mommy. Hey, baby. Baby, all right, Mom.
Hello? Who's there?
I know you're there, nasty man. You answer me as good. Mommy. Come here. You want
Gee, I have like post-traumatic stress just listening to that. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So yeah, that's one thing to say about trailers, particularly for the older like 70s films. I mean, the trailers are much longer than a traditional trailer is now. So that is cut down from a 4-minute official trailer. And the first about minute of this trailer, minute and a half, is the very opening scene with the Christmas Carol playing, and then very randomly shots of different murders that happen in the movie just pop up, and there's that loud like Billy, all that nonsense. I don't remember how it sounds.
No, that's awesome. Love it.
But it pops up and then goes back to the Christmas Carol, like very jarring. Yeah, it's an intense trailer.
Yeah.
So anyway, Nate, what would you like to share about this movie to start us off?
All right, so this came out in December 20th, 1974. So right before Christmas. It was 98 minutes.
It's a nice movie to take your family to for the holidays, right?
Yeah, I have my favorite trivia probably ever coming up about this movie. So keep that in mind.
All right.
Good family movie. So IMDb, it's a 7.2, which for a slasher movie is pretty spectacular.
It's pretty good, yeah.
On Rotten, it's 67. One of the taglines for this movie is, it's beginning to look a lot like bloodshed. Which is... Oh, man.
I liked it.
I like it, but it is also at the same time like, that's terrible.
Yeah.
The budget for the movie was $620,000, which is pretty low. And then the box office, it made over $4 million.
Oh, wow.
At the time, it wasn't really appreciated a lot. I think people thought it was disturbing and weird and didn't really like it per se. And then now it's basically something of a cult classic and very well regarded. The director for this movie is Bob Clark, who you will remember from other horror movies such as Porky's 1 and 2 and A Christmas Story. That's right.
Seriously?
9 years later, after Black Christmas, came back to the Christmas movie theme with A Christmas Story.
You'll shoot your eye out.
Which is... He stabs some eyes. This time he shoots some. I mean, yeah. But no, which is crazy. That is remarkable. You wouldn't think that someone who directed A Christmas Story and Porky's movies would be the director of Black Christmas. And yet, here we are.
3 entirely different movies.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's crazy. Yeah. So the main actress, Jess, is Olivia Hussey. She was in It, the 1990 TV movie, as Audra.
Yep.
And her most famous role is probably Romeo and Juliet when she was, I think, 15 years old.
Wait, she was the girl in It?
Yeah, she was Audra.
Oh, nice. I still need to watch that.
Yeah, the original, yeah.
Oh, the original one. And then, of course, we have Margot Kidder, who plays the hilarious Barb. She was in Superman 1 through 3 and
Amityville.
One of our earlier episodes, Amityville Horror.
Yep.
And then one of the last people I wanted to bring up was John Saxon, so Lieutenant, the lieutenant in this movie, also played Lieutenant Thompson. So he's a big lieutenant guy in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. He's just a lieutenant in every movie. And then he was also in one of my favorite movies of all time, Enter the Dragon. So I had to mention that.
Yeah,
the previous year.
Great one.
And one of the other girls is the aunt in My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Because she's awesome.
Oh, that was Phil.
Phil. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got it. Now I got it.
And she was in the remake as the house mother, so I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So, yeah, so this is definitely the first seasonal slasher that's ever been made.
Right.
I'm confident on that one.
But why? I mean, just because it's set at Christmas?
Yeah.
That's like
It
that's
started a
like the
huge
way everyone
trend.
says Die Hard is a Christmas movie just because it was during Christmas.
Yeah, but I mean, this one's called Black Christmas.
Yeah.
And everyone
It's got nothing to do with Christmas.
Yeah, well, everyone is gone because it is Christmas, which sets up the kind
It seems like there's a lot of people around not doing their jobs.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. So movies that came out a little bit before this movie that might be considered slashers are Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Although that one's more of like you stumble upon a murder, whereas this one's like, the murder comes to you.
I don't know that they just stumbled upon. They were directly pointed out to
okay,
where
but
to
they kind of stumble. And then
that's like saying people in Green Inferno and Cannibal Holocaust were just stumbled into
they did.
the Amazon.
They did. And then previous movie, A Bay of Blood from 1971 is another good slashery movie. That's not an American one though. And then Psycho and Peeping Tom in 1960 were some other ones that were not your prototypical slasher necessarily is this movie, but those ones had different elements of that. This was Elvis's favorite horror movie, and he used to watch this movie with his family every Christmas until he died, and they continue the tradition to this day.
Are you serious?
Yes.
What?
If it's good enough for the king, it's good enough for me. That's what I always say.
Is that what you always say?
I always say that.
Always.
Everyone knows me.
I feel like I've
So
heard it only
peanut butter
once.
and banana sandwich is your favorite then?
Only while watching Black Christmas. No. The original title for this movie was called Stop Me. So I'm really glad they changed that because that would have sucked. It's basically like don't. That's basically the level of this. The writer for this movie was Roy Moore. And I wrote, he treated young women better in this screenplay than the actual Roy Moore. Boom, boom. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hashtag truth.
Yep. Yep.
Gross.
In some markets, the movie's title was changed to Silent Night, Evil Night. And they realized that it didn't do as well. But the reason they changed it is they didn't want it to sound like a blaxploitation film.
Yeah.
Which is like the most specific time, like no other time in history can Black Christmas sound like a blaxploitation film other than 1970.
Considering there's not a single black person actually in the movie.
That is true. There's two black actors that walk in front of the dad waiting for Claire. That's it.
Wow.
No, the reason I noticed that is because it was super noticeable. There's no black people in this movie. It was in Canada. It's all good. And it was, I don't know. And then one of the last things I wanted to bring up is, so the audio on the phone calls was all added in post. So after the film was recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're all really disturbing. So the actors have to react to that. And what they were really reacting to while filming was the director literally yelling at them. So when you see like people like
that
reacting,
doesn't seem as effective though, because there's stuff that he says that's like, I feel like if they had actually heard the lines he was going to say, they would have had very different reactions.
Yeah, I mean, but it is also kind of like, holy shit, this actor's like, I mean, some of the words that they say and stuff, like they react to it, right?
Yeah.
So clearly the director's yelling at them, like cussing them out.
You think he was
basically.
yelling the general gist of what he was going to say?
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Then that makes sense.
Yeah, and so that's what they were reacting to was the director yelling at that, which is crazy. Again, the director who did A Christmas Story is cussing out a bunch of young women.
Because that first phone call is ridiculous.
Yep, there you go. And then one more thing I want to mention is there's a 2006 remake. Don't watch it. Okay, there you go. Don't.
We need to get the don't drop.
Stop me from watching that movie.
Was it that bad? I don't know that I watched it, but
it was not great.
I mean,
like, why? Just watch. There's no point. Go watch this classic movie.
Is it Thanksgiving bad for you?
No. It's like, when they always redo movies, like when they redid My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, and they put it in 3D. And it was
it's like that. It's like there's just no, or like House of Wax with like Paris
I
Hilton.
liked My Bloody Valentine. There's an original?
Oh yeah, the original. Oh
my, the original is a million times
significantly
better.
better.
Well, that's your fault. We only watched the remake.
Because you just said, "Oh, I'm cool. I'm down with watching this."
Mitch, you haven't taken any dates to watch My Bloody Valentine on Valentine's Day like I have.
No, so
we didn't go on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
We did see it in 3D.
You'll be shocked to know that I had, and it's shocked to know that over the course of my life, I have not had a whole lot of dates on Valentine's, and I did not spend them taking them to Valentine's.
That's why you didn't have the dates, Mitch. See?
Well,
it's a
maybe
self-fulfilling prophecy.
Maybe. I mean, coal's a dying industry anyway, so it makes sense.
All right.
What you don't want to do is
Too
rent
political.
My Bloody Valentine 3D because then the 3D just looks dumb.
I propose that makes it better. I propose that as a fun Easter egg of look how shitty this looks. So Lisa, what did you think about Black Christmas? Because Nate has been on record in several episodes saying this is his favorite.
I think this is my favorite horror movie ever.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Absolute favorite.
So we,
I don't know if it's the best, but it is my favorite.
Yeah. So
you could watch it every Christmas like Elvis.
I think
I already did.
Yeah,
I already did. It was already there.
So what about you, Lisa? What were your, I guess, overall thoughts?
I liked it. I thought it was really well done. Yes. It's good.
We need a guest here so more people can agree with me.
We don't have we only invite guests for shitty movies that you recommend, so they get all mad at you. Yeah. It's more fun to watch them get all mad at you and bitch about it before the show, during the show, and still after the show. Sorry.
It had good suspense. There were a lot of moments. The people who yell at the screen.
Yeah.
There were a lot of those moments when I was just like, "Are you kidding me?" Like. Seriously, this is what we're doing. Mm-hmm. But overall, I think it was well done. I think it was well done for the time that it was made.
Yeah. For the time it was made, I think it was pretty.
Yeah. So no, I liked it overall. It was good. I wasn't constantly checking my watch, so that was good.
Okay, that's good. This movie versus A Christmas Story. Which Christmas movie you like better from this guy?
This one?
Yes. No way.
Really?
I've never been a Christmas Story.
Yes. Oh, man.
I totally disagree. Man, I'm in the minority.
Like a mind meld over here going on.
I know. Awesome. I'm not enjoying this whatsoever. No, I'm not gonna say I didn't check my watch. I did check my watch a few times watching this. It's like, when is something gonna happen?
What? A lot happens.
A lot of stuff that has
good tension builds.
Almost. Some things are very Room-esque. Why is there this girl that we're all searching for?
You make it
nothing
sound
to do with
like
anything.
A bad thing.
Yeah, the 13-year-old.
Yeah, the 13-year-old.
That was
no bearing on really what's going on. Yeah,
although maybe he did kill her on the way.
Well, they never tried to. I mean, it's fine to have things happen. Maybe 5 other murders in the Tri-County area were a part of him too. Mm-hmm. They never bring it up. This movie would have been better served being 15 minutes shorter. 15 to 20 shorter.
I think the problem too, because that's what I was expecting too. As soon as the first murder happened, I expected to just go. But I think that's because so many of the movies today are like that, right? Once they start the killing, they just kill. This one was like, I was surprised after the first kill when it was the next day.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, the guy is just chilling there. It's like the next day. That's so weird.
Everything's marinating.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't bother me. It happened. You have the first kill in the beginning, and then it's the next day. And then there's just like a Christmas ham. Sometimes you got to trim some of the fat off. Okay. There's just some things in there that we didn't need that many shots of the laughing cop, which we'll get into.
I love the laughing cop.
I'm not saying it's bad.
Fellatio's not that funny.
None of it.
It is when the guy doesn't know what he's talking about. That made it more hilarious.
Yeah. I was okay with that. It took a whole long time to get to that point, but there is a payoff, so there you go.
I mean, I imagine there was a whole generation of people who learned the word fellatio from this movie.
I'm sure.
Right? I mean, I don't know.
As a handle, right? For Effie?
Yeah. How many movies were mentioning that at the time? Probably not many.
But that wasn't even as bad as some of the stuff he said on the first phone call.
Also true. Yeah. This movie got a hard R. There was no like.
There's
no PG-13 or whatever. No PG tourist trap happening here. No. I mean, it was 100% in. Yeah.
Well, okay. So let's get into the movie at least, so we can start talking about actual things that happened. Since we're sort of kind of dancing around them. So let's talk about the sorority girl. So you mentioned Jess, played by Olivia Hussey. There's Barb, played by Lois Lane herself, Margot Kidder.
Yep.
You have Mrs. Mack, who's the house mother.
She's great.
You have Phil, who I guess is supposed to be a shorthand term for Phyllis, but everyone calls her Phil.
I assume.
Sure. And I mean, you have two boyfriends in this. One who doesn't matter in the grand scheme of thing. There's Chris Hayden.
He's the townie.
Who is the other girl, Claire Harrison's boyfriend. Yeah. And then there is Peter, who is Jess's boyfriend / baby daddy.
All right, Lisa, how old do you think Peter was in this movie?
The pianist?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably like the actor?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
38?
Oh, you saw it before, didn't you?
No.
Literally 38.
Literally 38?
Yes.
Oh,
no.
Wow.
Well done.
He was old. And you know who that was, right?
I looked him up, but now I forgot.
There's a guy from 2001 Space Odyssey.
Oh, nice. The guy who runs the...
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
And it was funny because when he said he talks to Jess, he says, I can't let you get this abortion. And I in my head I was like, you can't do that. From 2001. I'm afraid I can't let you do that. Yeah, exactly. I was like, yes, that's awesome. He was old. And the reason he was in the movie, they're like, hey, you want to be in this movie? And he's like, okay. I'll go up there for a week because my parents live nearby where they were filming it. And so all his scenes, you notice, there's almost none with other people. It's like Jess going to see him in a place, right? Separate. In the house, separate almost. There's that one doorway scene where he leaves. Other than that, he's like almost never with anybody.
That's interesting.
In the movie. Yeah, so all his stuff is filmed like separately almost.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thoughts around all of these girls, any characters that kind of stood out to you? So Jess is clearly the final girl.
But she's not. I love this movie. It flips it. It's like, no one's like, okay, so the girl who's like drinks and whatever is like the one who dies, whatever. But like the nicest of the girls who didn't want to drink, Claire was the first one who dies.
Yep.
And then the one who's literally getting an abortion is the one who then like is the last person. I was like, I love it. It like flipped the trope before the trope even existed.
I was about to say,
awesome.
so I wonder where did the trope start? Was it?
I don't know. I mean, obviously Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween.
Maybe
Halloween was more famous than this movie, right?
Sure.
By like times a million. So I'm assuming that's where it came from.
No.
But this movie, they totally flipped it, which is cool. Barb was hilarious. I don't know.
Yeah, Barb was hilarious. Barb was quotable. Mrs. Mack. Let's talk about this house mother for a second.
Yeah.
Woman has not found a place you couldn't hide booze.
She did the in the book trick.
There's a floorboard somewhere
inside the toilet.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere.
Yeah. I just like when she pulls the box out of the closet and then the bottle's empty, she's like, damn it.
It's like, what's an animal that like packs things random places and like has to search to find them again? like a squirrel or something. Like an alcoholic squirrel.
Well, shit. Did you see the way she brushes her teeth? That is the most aggressive. Just and then she
rinses
pulls
it with
the booze that's hitting in the toilet.
I'm assuming it was peppermint schnapps. So it was a clean minty, fresh taste or something. I don't know.
Yeah, she.
You can see where the looseness and the funness is happening. She sets the tone with her hilarious disregard of basically everything, right?
With her picture of the grandmother flipping somebody off.
Yep.
And then her trying to hide the other picture on the wall from the dad.
With the lesbians or whatever.
Yeah.
No. It was a guy and a girl having sex in a peace sign. So the guy is this, and then the girl's legs are diagonal, so it makes a peace sign.
I didn't really, good.
It was awesome.
Look. I mean, she was covering it up before I could notice what was happening. Yeah, so
awesome.
Hiding all that up. But yeah, so any of the other, I guess the other sorority sisters.
I mean, yeah,
kind of made an impression.
It's really all about Barb and Jess. I mean, it's not really.
Yeah,
Barb was ridiculous. The second that she gave alcohol to a child, I was like, who are you?
So,
what are you doing?
What parent is allowing their kids to go to whatever holiday shenanigans that fraternity was throwing?
I don't know.
Because there was all sorts of terrible things happening. I did not see the responsible adult anywhere.
Well, yeah, and then that was from my quote from the beginning of the movie. He says, ho, 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 shit.
I thought it was fuck.
With a kid on his lap. Then the next line is, ho, ho, fuck. Kids are getting slipped alcohol.
That bitch. Santa's being naughty.
And that was Phil's boyfriend. And like, if you take Phil and her boyfriend, you have like all the curls in the world
no
for their
kidding.
hair.
Right.
Oh my God. Like seven stories of afro between them somehow. That was awesome.
Well, some other characters I want to talk about, the police. So the police team, we have
the police in this movie.
John Saxon as Lieutenant Ken Fuller. You have Sergeant Nash. You have the laughing detective.
Yeah, that's it. There's really three, and then there's like a telephone guy.
Yeah, the telephone guy. Yeah, exactly. Let me tell you this. I don't know your college experiences. I know Louisiana Tech campus police. College campus police are just kind of a different breed. Very, I think they do a good job for what they're certainly prioritized to take care of.
But these aren't campus police.
Well,
this is the town police, I think.
Well, shit. So maybe we should give a shout out to the campus police who clearly did more than these cops did.
These cops, even in the ineptitude of cops in horror movies, almost. The Sergeant Nash guy takes it to another level. Probably the worst cop.
God.
Probably the worst cop in a realistic situation in a movie I've ever seen.
He was just the worst.
The way they wrote him, you needed a laughing cop, Mitch, to laugh at this guy because he was so inept.
Yeah.
She just calls and he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll look into it sometime. Bye."
Yeah.
Someone's missing.
Here's a form.
Here's a form.
It's probably not going to make you feel better, but she's probably shacked up with some dude.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it doesn't make you feel better. It's great because then they say a girl's been murdered, another girl's missing, and they're getting prank calls, like disturbing prank calls from somebody. Maybe we should look into it. He's like, oh, yeah. Like, maybe we should look into it. The ineptitude in this guy is... I've never seen anything like this.
How's he a sergeant?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I have a question for you, though.
Barney Fife.
They have low recruiting. Like, you need to get the word out. Do some advertising.
Or at least I have a theory. John Saxon, I think, is a lieutenant here. Lieutenant Fuller. Mm-hmm. Hear me out. He has to leave his job. Yeah. Because a whole sorority has basically gotten murdered.
On his watch.
Yeah. When they were at the house, they could have stopped it 100 million times.
Yep.
He leaves. He moves to somewhere in Illinois or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And his daughter grows up to be Nancy.
Yeah. He changes his name to Thompson.
And that's how Freddy Krueger and Black Christmas are tied together.
But he keep his rank, though?
He did. He is still a lieutenant. Well, they're not going to like...
Maybe he worked his way back
Maybe
up.
he went into witness protection because...
He's like, this guy Billy is going to come out.
The town hated him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he definitely changed his name, had a daughter named Nancy.
Did he mention a little daughter in this movie? I don't think so. So we don't know.
We don't know.
He might have had a little daughter at this point.
He might have. I mean, yeah, it would have been young at the time. So
that would be awesome.
Because I would love to see something to collaborate, corroborate that one. The police force is just
they're bad. They're not like. It's not the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's realistic in that they're just lazy.
I would just like to see.
Like,
I would just like to see police actually do something competent half the time in these movies.
John Saxon was competent, I would say. He was slow. He was slow, but competent.
Yeah.
I mean, he went and set up the wiretap and stuff, and he left a cop outside of the house. But so he was doing something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I love how, like, in older movies, like, even the most mundane things, you can throw some, like, drama into it. Like, tracking a phone call now is like, oh, I'm looking at a computer screen. In this movie, he's just, like, running. He's like, I gotta look.
Gosh,
I gotta look and see I gotta look and see the positions of the pistons or whatever the hell is
He's running in this big warehouse.
Oh, it's awesome.
I was like, what is going on? So he has
literally the switches, like to connect
every address in that warehouse?
Yeah, man. He's just, I don't know.
That was nuts.
But I mean, it added drama to something that now you would just be, you'd literally be looking at your phone going, oh yeah, I can see it. Here's the zip code.
Oh, they're upstairs.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's literally named upstairs phone on my phone.
Maybe
that's
I should
weird.
go.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing was, when he set it up, it almost seemed like there's something else out there. That little town didn't have it. Because he told her, he's like, sorry, this is a really old mechanical one, so it's going to take forever.
Yeah.
Thinking maybe there is something better out there. They just couldn't, that police department couldn't afford it because,
Yeah, that
they don't solve any crimes.
That makes sense.
So they get no funding.
Maybe they can't solve crimes because they don't have funding. See? Oh.
Commissioner, throw him a bone.
Chicken and egg situation here.
Well, let's talk about the guy they had to try to catch.
Oh, Billy.
Well,
Bill. I mean, he doesn't have a name, but we'll just call him Billy.
Well, he calls himself Billy.
Oh, he's Billy.
He actually says, I'm Bill. He actually says, like, I'm
says
Billy.
it's Billy.
It's
Yeah,
Billy.
but then he says, like, oh, you're Agnes. Like, well, she's not Agnes.
Okay, so.
But Agnes was his sister.
Was it, though?
Was
it his?
For the benefit, I'm going to lay some ground rules on this discussion. For the benefit, we're not going to insert stuff from the remake. We're just going to talk about...
It's not from the remake. I mean, it is in the remake, but I pieced that together from this. I remember I told you halfway through the movie, I'm pretty sure that the killer's Billy, and he had a sister named Agnes, and something happened.
Well, what is your theory about Billy?
What I just said. His name is Billy. Something happened. My theory was that he killed his parents.
Okay.
Because they're like, he's arguing back and forth with his mom and all this stuff. So my theory was he killed his parents. And then he kept telling Agnes, don't tell anyone what we did. So, like, wanting her to hide it.
Yeah. I disagree. I think he...
This is not up for
killed
debate.
Oh, it's not? Okay. No. Well, all right. Well, thanks, everyone, for listening. We'll be back next week. No, I think he killed Agnes, his baby sister. Mm-hmm. I think she was a baby at the time. Because at one point you do hear him yelling, "Where's the baby? What did you do with the baby?"
Because Nate can't make me watch a movie where there isn't a baby that gets hurt.
Yeah, it would only be fitting that this is one of Nate's favorite films.
A 13-year-old girl is not a baby.
Definitely,
right?
definitely, children are dying.
It's gone up. It's gone upward.
Well, unless I'm right.
But he was saying that don't kill the baby because of the conversation that they had in the house.
Well, no, he was saying don't kill it, but he kept saying, "What did you do with the baby? Where's the baby?" All that kind of stuff. I mean, it's hard to tell because some of it, does go into that, but he says it quite a bit even before I think that conversation happened. I'd have to go check. I don't timestamp my notes. I just know roughly when things happen. I don't know. So that's kind of my thought because he says don't tell him what he did. I think he may have been playing. I mean, again, he's kind of obviously mentally disturbed, right? So maybe he was playing too rough with.
And that's the other creepy thing because, like, in all those phone calls, he's incoherent and crazy. And then he gets that moment of clarity when he's like, "I'm going to kill you."
Yeah, I'm going to kill you is the creepiest line in the whole movie by far.
Agreed.
Everything else is a little scattershot and insane. I was like, I'm going to kill you. Like, Jesus.
Damn.
That is nuts. I would say my theory for Billy is something happened to his sister Agnes, and then she died, and then he went insane, and then he was in an insane asylum, and then he escaped, and then started murdering everybody.
Okay.
I don't know. Throw a different one out there.
Again, you could come up with whatever backstory you want because this movie's not going to tell you.
Very ambiguous.
Yeah, so of Billy's murders, was there one that stood out to you? And again, I got to credit this movie too. For as many murders that were happening off screen or away, they didn't really show the gore. They were still pretty effective, I thought.
Oh yeah, they were very effective.
You didn't get a sense of like cheesiness or clearly you don't have money.
You had enough money for a hook.
No.
And plastic sheeting.
Yeah. All right. So which one was your favorite then, Lisa? Or the most memorable or interesting or whatever?
When Peter kills the piano.
Wow.
What?
Lisa felt sadder about the piano than she did about it.
I've played for a very long time.
Yeah.
He was playing a Steinway.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That piano is not cheap.
Yeah.
That is one of the most expensive pianos.
So,
and that jerk, just because he thinks he did bad in his dumb little audition, hurt that piano. I was not.
Lisa was also not a fan of the piece that he performed for him.
No, I was not. I'm like, I don't know.
This is like some music criticism into our
and the thing that always bugs me about, I'm going off on a tangent, but whatever. The thing that always bugs me about that in movies is it's like, that guy can't play. If he could play, they would show him and his hands at the same time. It's always the cutaway, and then they're so dramatic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're full of crap.
Well, in the movie, the guy's supposed to have, for 8 years, been practicing.
Oh, maybe they should have gotten someone who can play.
I'm assuming the actor didn't have 8 years.
No.
He's got the passion and the heart. He just doesn't have the talent.
So basically 8 years, and then he has a really important piano final or whatever.
Oh my gosh. His piano final?
I didn't quite understand what was happening.
It's a piano final.
And again,
that's basically what it is.
This is some of the fat that you need to trim. Because I get that we're trying to show that he has these dreams, and that's why he wants Jess to keep the baby.
Yeah, it's the motive.
But did we really need to do that? Because his dream is I still want to be a concert pianist.
Yeah.
I didn't need to see him fail at audition and take it out on a Steinway. Except that I get it at the same time.
Yeah.
Also, was that
but
his
it's
Steinway?
No, it was the conservatory.
It's supposed to show his violence.
His anger issues, right?
I get it. I get it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this makes it hard to do your after your 8 years, like the day before or the day of. Like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm just gonna have an abortion. Your girlfriend says that to you. Like,
she
that
did.
Would throw
that
you
was
off.
Bad timing.
That would throw you off.
Like, really, you can't wait.
I get it. I
get
it a little bit.
Aren't there statute laws? So I guess she's running up against the clock.
Yeah, but she could wait like a day.
What? I don't know.
Statute. Wait, what?
Well, not statute, but
there's a certain time period afterwards you can't.
Yeah.
Well, I would just. I'll get into this and what I would have done differently.
Oh God! All right. So back to favorite death. So piano was your favorite death?
No, it was the most horrible one.
Oh, okay.
It's awful.
So let's get the touchy subject of pianos.
My favorite one,
living entity death.
You felt worse for the piano than the humans.
Well, you did hear
most of those humans were morons.
You did hear that it's because the piano costs so much more, whereas these these kids' lives in this
we can replace sorority people every year.
Practically worthless.
Yeah, every year.
Bitcoin is worth more at this point.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
I'm sorry. I know it's not.
So, my favorite one actually probably was the house mom. Because she goes around through the house for 10 minutes yelling, Clyde! Clyde!
It's like
Clyde!
It's like someone camping in
and then just keeps blaming everything on the cat. She drops her purse and she's like, damn it, Claude, look what you made me do.
Yeah.
She gets in the attic and something else, look what you made me do. And then that hook just took her out.
You know what? She probably blamed the cat for getting hooked too.
Yeah.
Right at the very end.
And well done with the hook, because you could do that a million times. You'd only do it like 2 or 3 times and get it right.
Yeah, he is really practicing.
Yeah, how many takes did that take? Was it like Halloween 3 where he did it great the first time, they weren't even filming, and then they had to do it a million times?
They didn't really have, show the hook hitting, so they didn't really have to, so they were probably fine.
That is the slowest reaction. That's just like as soon as you see that duck.
Yeah, but the alcoholism.
Oh, no, I know. She was not capable.
I'm surprised she got up on the ladder to get into the attic.
Yeah, I feel like you just take your chance to just let go of the ladder and just drop and see where it takes you. You're better off.
Yeah.
How about you, Nate?
My favorite was the first kill. This is a kill that doesn't happen very often in movies. Normally someone's getting slashed or hooked, as the case may be, or stabbed with a glass unicorn. But when Claire gets suffocated,
that was my favorite too.
That is that's still jarring. And not only that, but they keep the bag. So he takes her up to the attic, puts her on this rocking chair, creepy as hell. The bag is still there, and her face is still there, creepy. Puts a doll in her hands at some point, and then it's like rocking her. It's like holy
Agnes.
Holy shit! Yeah. Like that is maybe it's the most creepy because it happened. And it was jarring, and then it continued to be there.
Yeah, no, I think the most shocking thing is no one ever went in the freaking attic.
It's attic. You know why? Because attics are worse than basements. We have
I feel like we have one example.
One example. The basement is not as bad as the attic.
One very localized attic example versus hundreds upon thousands of basement horror stories.
I don't know. I think attics are just as creepy as basements.
Yes. All right. Here we go.
How about
I'm not saying basements are good.
Yeah,
They're both awful.
just stay in the middle of the house.
Stay in the middle.
Stay in the middle layers. Don't go below the earth or too high up.
Yeah.
Don't be Icarus. Just stay
grounded.
Yeah. don't fly too high.
That attic was fucking creepy.
Yeah, that's sorority. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
I think that maybe I was gonna say something, but I think that broke my own rule of not bringing up stuff from the other movie, so we won't talk about it.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. The movie doesn't exist.
So let's talk about the ending then. So at the very end of this, Jess is running away from Billy.
But we got to talk about this phone call.
Is she running away from Billy, or is she running right towards Billy?
We got to talk about the phone call.
Go ahead.
So basically, they do it's like the world's longest tracing of a phone call, right? From Billy. They say he's in the house. John Saxon, the lieutenant, decides to give it to douchebag McGee, worst cop of all time.
Why didn't he just call her
He should have called.
himself?
I think he's like, I don't trust that guy to go anywhere and help anyone.
Right.
So stay here and I'll go do it. I think that was the logic.
But wasn't he calling from the car?
No, he was at the station.
No.
The Sergeant Nash when
the lieutenant. He was talking to the sergeant.
I think over the radio. I think from his radio.
Was it from
I think it was over the radio.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so Sergeant Nash, he's like, hey, just tell her to leave. Don't tell her the call's from in the house because then she'll freak out. Okay. So then he goes, hey, so can you just walk out? Don't ask any questions. The way he says it was so stupid.
He's such a moron.
Such a moron. And then she's like, oh, why? And she's like, I'll go get Barb and Phil. Like, no, don't worry. Just go. And then he breaks the rule and says, because the killer's in the house. He's yelling. She's not responding. And then what does she do? Instead of going through the front door, just right up the stairs toward Billy.
Yep.
I don't know if it's because she wanted to help her friends. I think that was supposed to be the reason.
She was going out because she went straight to their rooms.
Yeah.
To try to get them hey, it's here. We need to get out.
And then she opens the door, and of course they're just bloodied, stacked on top, like stacked like wood on top of each other. That was weird.
Yeah. So after she runs back down the stairs and to what I guess is the basement.
She hits Billy with the door.
Yeah,
that was her best. Yeah, probably her best move, I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
She runs down and Peter shows up. So her baby daddy, fresh from destroying a piano.
Well, just her boyfriend. There's no baby.
Had she already had the abortion at that point, or she was just going to?
She's going to.
Well, and I'm just saying until
sure
until there's some finality to the situation.
Potential baby daddy,
right? So, he breaks in through the window trying to get to her.
Yeah,
and when it comes to Peter's dead, and the cops think that Peter was the murderer.
She killed him with a poker.
Yeah,
that's fucking impressive.
Yeah.
No. And then, of course, you have the shot above in the attic where the body still exists.
Yeah, so they didn't go up in the attic.
Yeah.
I guess they were worried about more like the.
But she didn't know about the attic too, though.
No one did. That was why it was.
Yeah, but as soon as you find 3 dead bodies in one house, you search the entire house.
Yeah,
that is a true statement.
You're like, I guess that's probably it, right? That's enough people.
The cops probably like, you know what? Let's just wait for real police to show up.
But that's what the cop did at the end of the credits. He just sitting on the porch, just
just holding.
Phone's just ringing, not really worried about it.
Now this is the worst police work probably I've ever seen. Again, in a realistic movie, there's terrible police work in garbage movies.
Right.
So
worse than Amityville.
Yes, worse than Amityville. Margot Kidder just can't buy a break with any of these cops in these movies.
Maybe it's her.
She's getting tormented all over the place.
Yeah.
They find her in the basement they're basically both passed out. Well, one person's dead, Peter's dead. On top of her, she's alive, and instead of taking her to a hospital, they put her in a bed in the house and then leave her alone. Even in Canada, this can't be standard operating procedure.
Let her get some rest. No. All by herself.
Just because
in the house where all these
just
because
it's free doesn't mean there's a cost, Nate. So they gotta.
Well, it's not free. It's just no. It's just so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah. unless they're like bleeding somewhere, we're not taking them. It's no. So let me ask you this: it's not you're left with this ambiguous.
No, but that's
ending.
false because then the dad of Claire sees the dead body, or thinks she's dead, obviously, because all the dead bodies are there. They don't actually find Claire. He collapses, and then they take him to the hospital for shock, but not the girl who just killed a guy.
Well,
holy shit, that makes it even worse.
I don't know. Maybe in the 70s they thought women just fainted a lot still.
Oh,
so
yikes!
Yeah, right?
Yikes!
No, so okay. So the ambiguous ending, right? The phone starts ringing again.
Yeah, it zooms out from her bedroom.
Yeah. So the question is, do you think she survives? Do you think she's
dead?
Dead now?
She's 1,000% dead.
Does Billy finish the job?
It just depends on if Billy needs someone to answer the phone before he can kill again.
Oh, okay.
Like if that's his,
Yeah, he's got it's like
pattern.
It's a process.
Yeah.
You have to get. Ooh, that's a good. Well, I don't know if he killed that girl, the Janice or whatever, the 13-year-old girl in the park.
Yeah,
was
that's
there a
true.
phone call on that one?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know that he killed Janice. There's just nothing to tie it together outside of.
I think he killed Janice.
I think he did because the park is right outside their house.
Yeah.
Where she's dead. I think on the way to the sorority house, he ran into her and he killed her.
Maybe
that was my guess. That was my guess.
Maybe again, there's
because if not, it's so out of the blue.
Black Christmas 2. There's another murderer in the same town.
Oh my god, Agnes.
This time it's at the frat house that they had the party at.
It's Agnes. Agnes running around. He's going to the sorority girls. She's going after the fraternity brothers.
Oh, okay. All right.
There you go. Yeah. So okay. So you think you're not sure if she's dead? You think she's dead?
I think she's dead.
I think she's dead as well.
Because he didn't mind stabbing Lois Lane when she was sleeping. I mean, he's got no qualms about killing a sleeping person.
No, but
also that horn on that unicorn obnoxiously big. Just saying.
that's like a trope now with like people all being all about unicorns and shit. Like I've seen that in like 3 or 4 different things. Like Dodgeball, the classic movie Dodgeball. Like Scrubs had that. I mean, I don't know what's up with like random unicorns.
Charlie.
Oh my god.
Sean the non-believer. Sean.
I take it back. That is more disturbing than Billy. I take it back. I take it all back.
Charlie.
With candy and love.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, that being said, if there's anything else you want to say about this, Nate? You look like you're about to say one last thing.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to go over just real quick all of the things this movie did that like people copied. The shaky cam first person murder review, spectacular. That was actually awesome.
Yeah,
especially when he was yelling all this gibberish at the same time and knocking crap over right in the first person camera view.
Yep,
that was awesome. Ominous carols, right? I mean, taking like Christmas music and making it all weird. I don't think that had really been done in any movies before, specifically Christmas. And then
when did The Omen come out again?
That was 76. That was 2 years after this.
Yep, okay, yeah, I'm with you.
And then making the phone ringer, the phone ringing like the most horrifying thing ever. Obviously, Scream did that amazingly well. But I mean, that's the thing that got stolen like a million times too. So this movie had a bunch of really cool stuff in it.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for our general review. So now I want to just ask you both, what would you have done differently?
Son of a bitch, you left the bodies and you only moved the headstones! You only moved the headstones! Why? Why?
Yes. So I'm going to change it. This week, I'm going to jump in first. I was going to say get a dog instead of a cat. Maybe Claude, maybe Miss Mag would still be alive if the dog was looking up at the attic and just barking a whole lot.
Is there a doesthecatdie.com? If there is, spoiler alert, it happened. It happened.
They didn't show it though.
It happened.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think the cat would probably be smart enough to run away.
In this movie, they also joke that their dog died. I don't know if you caught that at all.
Oh, yeah. They're like, our dog just said, we won't bother you.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah. That'd be my what I would have done differently. Lisa, what about you? What would you do differently?
So originally, when they get the first phone call, my thought was call the police.
Mm-hmm.
But then I saw the police and realized
You got to take matters into your own
wasn't
hands.
going to freaking happen.
They knew what would have happened, so they were just like, let's.
So I think what would I have done differently is I think as soon as that first call came in, I think I get the hell out of the house. Because clearly, whether he's in the house or he's not, he knows the phone number and he probably knows the address. So that's when I just bail.
I don't remember how long they said the calls had been happening. It'd been happening for a little while. I think it escalated, right? I think it's first started kind of like just breathing, right? And then different voices started getting added in to make it even more creepy. So maybe in the beginning it wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
And then
but that one was bad.
Yeah, that first one in the movie was,
as soon as he says, I'm going to kill you, I'd have been like, okay, well, I'm out. So y'all want to go skiing right now? Let's go. Yeah, I'm out.
So in the words of Bobby Brown, I guess it's time to take control, huh?
No, I'm not fighting the guy. I'm getting the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Fight or flight. I'm flighting.
She's more like Journey, time for me to fly.
All right, Nate, what would you have done differently?
Oh, man.
But one thing would you have done differently,
Damn
Nate?
it. Okay, so if I'm Jess and I'm going to have an abortion with my high-strung and my extremely high-strung 38-year-old boyfriend, Peter, who is known to lose his temper, I just do it without telling him. Problem solved. Problem solved.
Wow.
Conversation doesn't happen. She's going to break up with him anyway. It's not like it even mattered.
Jesus. I don't know how that helps you survive. If anything, it adds another potential murderer on your list.
Well, no, I mean, you don't say anything, and then there's no problem. That's what I would have done.
Mitch, what would you do? Oh, you already said get a dog.
God damn.
Okay.
You've removed.
On to the awards.
Damn.
I'm just saying you've removed drama from the situation.
And I know you had a list of what you would have done differently.
Yeah, I have a list.
That's the one you wanted to roll with, huh? That was your top choice.
I can do it back.
No. You're
you got
done.
one, and that was it.
Award. What award?
I failed my piano final. Is basically what you're saying.
Yes.
Dang it.
Don't smash our piano on the way.
I will not do that. Awards?
Yeah, what award would you
I got the reverse home field advantage award.
Reward.
Everyone in the sorority house, you are at home. Like things moving, sounds. This should be a place where you recognize that things are not going how they should be going. Mm-hmm. And maybe that someone's in the house because it's the place you live, right? It's not like it's your home. And it did not help these people at all. No. I mean, this guy is just like setting up shop in their attic, looking at people, making noise, hiding in people's places. No one ever notices. You would think that they would. Another award I have is the Inspector Fellatio Award to Sergeant Nash. I put Fellatio instead of Gadget.
Dirty, isn't it?
I put Fellatio instead of Gadget because this is one of the most clueless policemen on Earth.
Yeah.
Like it makes Pink Panther look like the guy from 24. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Clouseau was even better than him.
That's what I'm saying. Saying that Pink Panther was like
because Clouseau prepared himself with his sidekick buddy who would just randomly pop out and attack him, keep him sharp. This guy was just awful.
Yeah.
Lisa, what award do you give?
I have the worst community outreach program award. Because that Christmas party for the children was terrible.
Yeah, so I was in a fraternity and we had to do a community service event like that, as part of our just to show that we're giving back. Yeah. I do not think we ever. It was always like we're just gonna like paint something.
I can imagine like here's the commercial for that. It's like every year tons of young kids are going without alcohol that they desperately need.
Right.
This Christmas season, be part of the solution.
My God. That's a great award, Lisa.
Yeah, so awesome.
Mine is just the "If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life" award. It goes to the Laughing Detective. He probably chuckles at everything that comes in that station. It gets a laugh.
In the scene, so John Saxon, Lieutenant, is in the foreground, but he's in the background. But they don't turn to the right to show John Saxon. They keep it like the whole room so that in the background you can see him just cracking up for like 20 seconds, 30 seconds. It's amazing.
Yep.
Oh,
If you laugh again.
he loves it. He also doesn't work 8 days in his life because apparently he's a terrible policeman.
Oh, Lord. All right. Well, let's get into our final segment.
Final cut.
I love that drop. All right. So, Lisa.
I'm probably going to give this 6 out of 10 hidden booze bottles.
Okay.
Solid.
Yeah,
solid.
it was
Okay,
good. It
that's
was
good.
good. And I don't know if it was that much better coming off the heels of Thanksgiving and Jack Frost. But
softening everyone up until they like the
right?
movie they really like. Yep.
But no, overall it was really solid. It was good.
Nice. Nate, what do you give this?
Yeah. I give this a 9 out of 10 glass unicorns.
Not 10?
I give it a 9.
Okay.
9 is very good, I would
Nine's
say.
solid.
It's no, this movie was just great. They didn't focus on the gore. The music's creepy. I cannot reiterate enough how creepy Billy's voice is.
It was awful.
That is like one of the creepiest things ever. They give the characters some backstory, so when they die, it's not like you don't care. I mean, you kind of don't care, but at least they give them some backstory. And then this movie obviously just ripped off by everyone. I mean, John Carpenter said he started with wanting to make Black Christmas 2, and that's how Halloween started in his head.
Nice.
So that's pretty awesome. So yeah, it's a great classic movie. Highly recommend it.
Yeah. I'm gonna be close to Lisa here. I did 6 out of 10 wart removals. Like that. Yeah. Again, part of it is just I did not see this early enough. So by the time I got to it,
you've already seen all the things that have been influenced by it.
Right. So I certainly appreciate it. It's still, even though it's still a good movie, it's still definitely worth checking out. But I think it probably suffered a little more. Had I watched this earlier or around the same time as when I first saw Halloween and all that, probably it's higher. So
I think I saw this, for me, and maybe that's why I saw this right around the time I saw Halloween as well, when I was littler. So
So I can certainly understand if you saw this earlier. Now if you see it, it feels a little dated, although it's not bad. It's still fresh in some aspects. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Nate, where can they find us?
Yeah, they can find us at our website, TexasPodcastMassacre.com. For our end of the year episodes, we have a survey open. I think it's our pinned tweet on Twitter, where you can catch us at TXPodMassacre and vote on some end of the year categories. What was your favorite movie? Movie you're looking forward to the most? Worst movie? Thanksgiving, my personal opinion, and more. We are on Spotify, so you check us out on Spotify. And you can check us out on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and all your other podcast platforms.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you all once again. Merry Christmas to all of you. Merry Black Christmas. Merry, whatever. Again, check your attics before.
Check your attics.
Have someone else check your attic.
No. Send somebody else.
Yeah, you just stay at the bottom and watch. If their feet go straight up into it, something's up.
Run.
From all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.